This is the Note Closers Show, where you get the latest developments in distressed note investing and learn the secrets of how you can control millions of dollars worth of property for pennies on the dollar. Get educated and entertained by someone who has closed thousands of deals and lives to support you in achieving the same. Now, here's your host, CEO of We Close Notes, Scott Carson.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well this Friday. We are off rock and roll. It's been a very busy week here, but excited to have a lot of the great stuff happen. Definitely lots of things going on here at WeCloseNotes.com. We're working through another 200 assets that we're breaking down the initial due diligence on today to get kind of some bids in on those. I've had a couple conversations with borrowers today that called me. And our office is basically trying to reinstate. You know, they're like, I want to stay in my house. I've been out of work, but I've got money coming in now. I want to stay. So I had one conversation with a gentleman from Indiana today who his payment's $370. He's like, I want to pay $500. I know I can't make up the last 4 months of payments, but I'd like to pay the extra $130 a month to get caught up with. And when I do my taxes here in a few months, I may be able to pay the rest with my tax bill. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm completely fine with that. If you want to do that, you want to stay in your house and you want to make a little bit extra, hey, we're willing to work with you. He's like, oh my God, so much easier to deal with somebody on the phone. He goes, one of the biggest things he also talked about was that the previous servicer didn't have a website, so he had to constantly call in. We're using Madison Management on his file. And so he's like, oh my gosh, it's so easy to talk to them, so easy to get things rock and rolling. I'm so excited to have you guys with it. And that's the joy on a Friday. You see a lot of that happens all the time. I had another conversation with another borrower who's like, well, I think my balance is a lot less than what they're showing. And sure enough, they provided proof to us. So their balance is a little bit less, about $800 less than what we were showing, which is fine. There's still plenty of opportunity there for her to stay involved. I mean, she's still a couple months behind than what she originally was, but I told her, listen, if you make 6 months of on-time payments, I'll forgive those 3 months that you're behind on. And for every $100 you bring extra to the table, I'll forgive you $100. I'll give you a 2-for-1 value. Anything extra you pay on a monthly basis above. And she's like, I like that. Maybe I'll do something with that. So those are some of the fun things that we're working on here. Of course, Jen's in the office tracking down paperwork on files. We're trying to make sure all the servicing's taken care of and these loans that we've bought are finally boarded. But it's a good feeling to have such a fun amount of deals. And fun, this is fun for me. I don't know about you guys that are out there, but it is fun to buy assets, get them worked out, and really talk to borrowers and hear about the good things. Oh, I want to stay. I want to stay in my house. I can pay, or hey, I did pay. I've been paying on time, and I was upset that I'm not behind. Yes. I'm not behind. Everything isn't as it looks there. I'm actually ready to go. I want to stay in my house. I've made payments, and so that's the nice thing is when we've identified that and seen that in the pay history now. That's a good thing. It's really a reperforming note for what we're doing. So that works out well for us in the long run because now instead of holding on to that asset for 6 months or 12 months, we can start looking at some of these assets and start selling them off as reperforming assets much sooner than 12 to 18 months down the road. So it's a win-win across the board for that aspect as well. But today's topic on the podcast here is about an upcoming event. It's about 30 days out. When we're filming this, we're roughly like 33 days out, is our big event that we host twice a year, and it's called Note Camp. For those that have attended a note camp, it really kind of separates itself from a lot of the other, I guess you could say, expos that are out there. I've been going to real estate expos for years, not only as an attendee to go and listen to speakers, but also as a vendor and a speaker there. And I've done the REI expos, I've done the Think Realty expos, I've done the 411 Realty expos that goes on, and then a whole variety of different ones. But I'm actually going to be only attending one true expo at a hotel. Actually, I take that back. It'll actually end up being 3 this year. 2 with the Distressed Mortgage Expo. One that took place in New Jersey in January. One that's coming up next week in California. I'm excited to be going there. And then I'll be attending a Ohio area expo in November. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's a big one. 800 people is what I've been told there's at. So it'll be my first time there. But we used to travel, once a month, once every 6 weeks to a different expo in different parts of the country. And you're packing up, banners and tables and traveling out to these events as a speaker and hoping that there'll be people there to listen to you, that you can hopefully help educate them in some sort of fashion or add to your database. And as a investor, I always hope there's people at these things I can go and network with as well, because I want to expand my database to grow my virtual tribe. Well, that's not always been the case. A lot of companies and a lot of people like to throw events, but they don't put a lot of butts in the seats. And that's one of the biggest things about to get a good vendor turnout is you want to have people there that are going to be talking to the vendors, because it's important. Because not all vendors have their own speaking spot. A lot of vendors are just there for a booth. They're hoping to get foot traffic, and add more clients to their database based on what they do. I've even seen investors be just vendors there trying to get more people into their database for potential funding partners or buyers or sellers on their list. So we get a little jaded. I will be honest with you, very kind of jaded, because we were going to some of these events that we're paying money to be sponsors for, and there wouldn't be a lot of people there. There'd be 200, maybe 150. We went to one in San Francisco, there was 25. That's not a good use of our time or resources or away from the office. And I will also tell you one thing. I'd also try to host a big event in Houston 2 years ago, and it bombed. We actually canceled the event about a week and a half out from it because there was just no signups. There was no people coming to the event. And it was a stressful time. I'll tell you that. Whenever you're trying to bring in 20 speakers and you've got a hotel room with room blocks and food and beverage and audio visual, and it was not a fun thing. I mean, we ended up actually writing about a $20,000 check to say no. And when you figure it in that you've got postcards that we dropped in on marketing, and we had other things, other marketing bags and swag and other stuff, yeah, that's not a fun thing to do. And I was literally very, very depressed about having to cancel this event. But when I talked to a lot of the vendors and speakers, they were actually glad that, hey, Scott, thanks for not wasting our time. We do appreciate that. We'll enjoy the weekend with our family. And we've always been doing, webinars on a regular basis with people and things like that. And I think we do a pretty good job marketing. And Stephanie Goodman, our VP of Operations, as many of you will know, and I were driving to Dallas to go to something. I don't remember exactly what we were going to, driving up to Dallas. And we had to talk in. I said, well, why don't we do a virtual one? And I think that was Steph's exact words. Well, why don't you just do a virtual expo? And I think I'd said, she'd brought that up a few months ago. And I thought, oh, no, it can't happen. That's not going to work. People like to come and network. And I let my bias get in the way. And I was like, well, she's like, well, if you're getting 300, 400 people on a webinar, why not do something virtually? Like, that's not a bad idea. So we came back here and started talking with my buddy Chase Thompson, if you guys know him from the NBA podcast and other things. We said, let's try to come up with a virtual expo. So we did just that. In April of 2015, we put together our first virtual event, and there was 300 people that showed up to it. 90% of people showed up. And one of the great things about what we do with our note camps is we really almost, I won't say force you to network, but you're almost gotta be dumb not to network, because we like to take everybody that signs up for an event and put in an online portal called Basecamp. And there's a few people that end up opting out of that. That's fine. They don't want to bombard with messages, but Basecamp is a really effective tool to work as a message board. And if you've got a team of people and you're working on projects, I highly recommend it. But when you drop 100, 200 people in a message board, it becomes its own kind of organism. People sharing their stories, sharing their networking, sharing what they're looking for. And that went really well. And then we reached out to speakers, and we had, I think, 19 speakers the first note camp. And everybody's overjoyed. They're like, I get an hour to speak. It's going to be live. You're going to have a couple hundred people there. And I don't have to jump on a plane, a train. I don't have to haul my booth. I could literally just do a PowerPoint or just a live stream video. And we're like, yeah, that's the concept. And they were overjoyed. So it went very well the first time we had one. We decided, okay, we'll do it twice a year, once in April, once in October. Second time around, we had just under 400 people. And the third time, which was in April this year, we had over 700 people attend. And that was just a big mind-blowing, because at that point, when you have 7 people opted into something, it becomes one of the larger events in the note industry. And when you look at the attendance of what, I'll give you an example. There's kind of two major ones, and there's another one that's kind of popping. Many people are familiar with Noteworthy. The Noteworthy events were taking place for 30 years in Vegas, and that's unfortunately not happening this year. Well, Noteworthy basically peaked out about 800 people, and that's a lot of people to network with. When you're at a live event, there's no way you're going to be able to network with all 800 people. And so you've got to try to do a good job of reaching out and getting business cards and asking questions to get yourself noticed, but you're never going to be able to network with everybody. That's what we wanted to remove. We wanted to remove the inability for people to network with everybody and be able to connect with everybody, whether it was during the event through questions and answers, or it was before, during, or after with a base camp. And then we also wanted to kind of take away a lot of the causes for lack of follow-up, and we started giving the database of everybody that joined Note Camp to everybody. If you opted in, you paid to be there, guess what? Come Sunday, when we wrapped up the event, we uploaded the database of everybody there so you could reach out to them at your own leisure, connect with them online, or drop an email blast or add them to your database. And that has been mind-blowing. A lot of people have been blown away with that because they're like, wow, I can add some people to my database. I may not be able to catch up with everybody during the event, but I can catch up with them after the event. And what's beautiful is these base camp groups become their own organism. And I see a lot of people using these databases to network and raise capital and close deals and joint venture with, which is what everybody's looking for at an event without them actually having to be in person. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it would be nice to be in person. But some of the great things that we use technology-wise, we have used Google Hangouts. We've used a service called Chatroll where people can ask questions and communicate directly. Now, with what we've evolved as the event has grown, people can still use chat rolls and still communicate with people outside of, outside of having to be in person, face to face. It works out really, really well. And some of the great features we can do now is with this Zoom technology, all our speakers are live. It's not a stale pre-recorded webinar. It's got to be a live on the phone or on the webinar with us for our speakers to really share that information with those that are attending. And also it's live Q&A sessions. We always want to make sure that the people that are presenting, the speakers are presenting, whether it's just an investor or an educator, they're giving quality content, actions, marketing, and profit-generating ideas. And that's where the camp comes from. I think as our good friend Kimberly Banks Fawcett once said, oh my God, don't do another summit or another expo. All right, we won't. We'll do a camp. Come camp out with us for a couple days and really expand your knowledge. So that's the great thing about some of the things. I think another thing as we have grown is that we now have 2 rooms that people can pick speakers from. They don't have to watch. They've heard Wayne Snell talk before. They can jump over to hear somebody else speak. They can switch back and forth very easily on the rooms. Also the fact that we record these sessions and that the cost for the recordings is included with their ticket is another thing. Because listen, if I've got very low overhead to put on an event, why would I charge you $500 or $1,000 to come to an expo? It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't have a room block I got to fill. I don't have a food and bev minimum I've got to hit at the event, which if you've never put on a hotel style event, that can get very expensive very quickly. And that's where the brunt of a lot of expenses come from, is that people have to charge more to pay for the cost to host an event, whether it's meeting space, audiovisual help, food and beverage, or paying for a room block. So we eliminated a lot of that and still allow for our speakers to deliver a ton of amazing content to our students. And do we have some sales that happen? Of course we have sales. You got to pay for groceries some way or another, but it's a lot less, run to the back of the room crap. It's like, get your credit card out and run to the back and sign up. We don't do that. We don't believe in that. We don't do that. And we've heard nothing but great responses from everybody. Now, some people, I will tell you, some of the speakers are not quite as technologically savvy as you would hope, where they're doing their first webinar, their first Zoomcast, and they don't understand that's a different type of process when you're communicating with people online than in person. They also, sometimes a lot of the speakers aren't so good with follow-up after the event with emails or just following up with a simple email to a webinar, to a class, something like that after the event. So that's always kind of the funny thing is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can't make people send an email out to their database. I can't make people, connect with others on LinkedIn as well. We have a variety of speakers, and I'll go through kind of our lineup that we have upcoming here in literally 30 days. But if you'd like more information, you always go to notecamp.live to check it out. And I'll tell you what, if you use the special code podcast, all in capital letters, podcast, it'll knock $50 off of your ticket price. So another thing to keep in mind that we always like to do, and we started doing this, I think, in the second one, is I always like to get a feel for where our audience is coming from. All right. And a very, very powerful tool that we've been using is a nice investor survey. Send out a link. We get 25, 30% of those that are signed up to it to fill out the survey, which is phenomenal. I wish it would be 50%, but that's not always the case, okay? Sometimes you just won't get people to answer a survey. But what we do ask is we really do find a lot of information about, what type of deals they're looking for, whether it's first, seconds, performing, non-performing. If they've got an IRA account, it comes in handy for especially our self-directed IRA clients and companies to help them get new accounts open. Are they looking to joint venture? That kind of stuff. How many deals have they closed in the last, 90 days or the last year? What their LinkedIn profile is, name, address, phone number, that kind of stuff. That becomes such a valuable tool. And once again, I think we go a step further than anybody else does. If you fill out the survey, we give those that filled out the survey answers or the full survey. So if we had 200 people fill out the survey and 700 people show up, guess what? Those 200 people are going to have a lot more success in networking with everybody else because they have more information. I mean, literally on this last go around, I think there's 187 people that say they were interested in joint venturing with others. That's a tremendous amount of funding, all right? 145 of them had self-directed IRAs. That's a tremendous amount of private money and a tremendous amount of people right there. You wouldn't need to attend another event a year. You'd have enough investors there. Literally. Now, yes, I know not all of them are going to fund with you. You've got to build that rapport and really kind of do the follow-up to make things happen. But it's a phenomenal event. I don't let everybody speak. I've turned some people away. I'm like, yeah, no, you're not a fit. I've had some people that don't come back because I'm like, yeah, you didn't rank well. Because one thing that I do after the event, we send a survey out to everybody that attended. It's a speaker survey. Who'd you like? Who didn't you like? How would you rank them? Would you like best? Would you like least about the event? And that gives me a lot of information to make the next one even better for you. So looks like Laura. Thanks, Laura, for coming here. The virtual camp is so easy to participate in. Still a ton of information, connections, and networking through Basecamp and the convenience of your own environment. Thank you, Laura. I think it's one of the nice things. We try to save you money. You don't have to spend money flying on a plane or staying with friends or renting a hotel room or out of your family life. You can watch from the comfort of your own home or office, wherever you get an internet connection. And at the end of the day, great, you're ready to go back and hang out with your family, your kids, and not really miss that much in work. So give you an idea of the schedule-wise, what we have found is basically it's a 4-day event. We only do a half day on the first day. We start at noon Central Standard Time on a Thursday. We go till about 5, 6 o'clock Thursday. We go 9 to 5 on Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday, and then usually 9 to 3 on Sunday. So it's a lot of info. And we don't expect everybody to attend all sessions. I'm going to tell you that right now. But we do provide the replays, and that's really the value of that is that you have access to everything you can't get. Because there's 2 speakers going basically almost every session except on Sunday. Sunday we only have one room, as we call it, one virtual room open because attendance drops down because it's Sunday. But we have 2 rooms running most of the, a couple spots Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday as well. And one of the things that we do is we wrap up Friday, especially Thursday, Friday, with usually a keynote speaker of some sort. And we've had some phenomenal keynote speakers from Greg Reed, the author of Think and Grow Rich, 3 Feet from Gold, who's been a keynote before for us. Patrick Precourt, my good buddy, who does a tremendous job as a motivational speaker and just a really go-getter, has been a keynote speaker twice for us. in back-to-back years. We've also had, golly, who else we have last year? We just had some really great speakers come and share what's going on with them. We had Jason Cisneros be a keynote this last time around. And then we always try to do a fireside chat a little bit on Saturday nights, where I kind of go through what's going on in the market. What do we see? Where do we see the opportunities? This kind of is almost not quite a fireside chat, but it's pretty close to it. Hey, what can you expect? What are you looking for? Should you be looking for in the next 6 to 12 months to help you take your business to that next level? And so there's so much great stuff that goes on. We get a lot of goodies. A lot of the speakers will give away an ebook or some sort of report for you. A lot of great classes. If you sign up for a class, hey, you've usually got a 7-day period to cancel if it's something you don't want. But we get a lot of great people that really do some tremendous things. We've only had one speaker miss his speaking spot in the last three times we've done it, and that's okay. He won't be back. He missed his spot. You're not coming back. Another thing is, if I get complaints from people, especially attendees, like, hey, I signed up for something, turned out to be crap, you know what? Hey, you need to take care of the student. You need to either refund it or don't come back. And most of the speakers are extremely glad to work with our students and make things happen. Heck, where else are they going to be able to spend an hour of their time or hour and a half of their time and speak to potentially 700 people and have their stuff, put out there in replays and have other people watch it as well, which is one of the things that we do. So Note Camp is designed to be an amazing online event, and it has turned out to be, and I'm not just using my words, as I'm seeing, we get so many recommendations and letters and really great reviews from people who attend the event. They're like, I was really surprised. I was really surprised about this. I thought it would be kind of boring, but no, you keep it very interactive. And, we've had just an amazing lineup over the last couple of years. We've got an amazing lineup that's going to be speaking this time around. And so I thought I'd take a second to kind of go through that really fast with you. Who can you expect to be joining us at Note Camp 4.0? Because what's nice is we've got some new faces coming this time around. And that's the beauty of it. It's nice to have a new speaker. So we've got our buddy Aaron Young going to be joining us. Aaron usually speaks once, sometimes twice, about the Rockefeller strategy, how to own nothing but control everything, along with his usual corporate veil protection. We got Christy White, my good friend, who's been coming on speaking about marketing. Adam Adams, my buddy's been on the podcast a couple episodes. He'll be talking about some of his bonuses, not his bonuses, but some of his nuggets. We're going to have a little bit something different. We'll have an investor panel this time around with 4 investors on it. We're picking their brains and letting you guys ask questions as well. So Adam will be a part of that, along with Wayne Snell and Jay Tenenbaum, just to name a few. We have Alex Godofsky from Pro Title USA. Alex always delivers a tremendous amount of content at Note Camp on using title companies and what to expect. We have the amazing Jillian Sadati from Trowbridge Sadati LLC. Jillian is one of the nation's foremost experts on crowdfunding and is an amazing SEC attorney and a good friend, and just does a really good job as well. This time around, we've got our buddy John Hare, the IRA lawyer, going to be joining us, which we're excited to have. I talked to John a couple weeks ago. He's like, wow, I like the idea. I like the concept. You mean I don't have to travel anywhere? Like, no, you could drink your red wine at home, John, while you talk. He's like, I like that. We got Kimberly Banks Fawcett going to be joining us. She's a great investor and friend. She'll be talking about some of the systems that she uses. Our buddy Joel Markovitz from the law office of Daniel Singer. He'll be talking about servicing and special servicing. Quincy Long from Quest IRA usually likes to join us occasionally. Due to schedule and travel, sometimes it'll be Nathan Long instead. But Quincy always provides a lot of great nuggets about using your self-directed IRA. Jay Tenenbaum, who's bought several hundred assets for the last couple of years, always has a great presentation on what he's done and kind of how he's ridden that wave of distressed assets to where he's at today. Daniel Malcolm from First National Bank of America will talk about owner financing and how to structure your owner finance note properly so that you can sell it for the most money. We also have Jeff Watson, amazing attorney and one of the co-founders of RealFlow, who will come on and usually last time he talked about the Owner Finance Coalition. I'm sure he'll talk a little about that this time around and some of the other stuff he's working about. A lot of people always ask us about servicing. So we're always excited to have Shantae Duffy on, and then also her boss, Kevin Cordell of Madison Management, sharing how Madison is really helping a lot of the investors out there with their special servicing. If you're looking for commercial notes or bigger projects, you'll want to hang around and listen to Sue Nelson, who is a great friend and is a great educator and also an amazing investor as well. Sue had one of the highest ranked speaking spots last time and does a tremendous job. And she's just got a big heart when it comes to helping her student success. If you're looking for insurance, hey, there's no better guy than Ed Bobkis from not Singer Law Group. That should be Ross Diversified Insurance coming on to talk about their policies and how they help a lot of investors. Merrill Chandler from Credit Sense does a great job coming in and sharing also the benefits, how to empower your credit to really kick butt. Take names. Last time around, we had Brett Palumbo from Distress Pro coming and talking about Distress Pro and how he's created that to help investors find assets and deal directly with banks. We have the author of the Banker's Code, George Antone from Full Throttle Ventures coming on, also known as Finance.com. George does a great job sharing his love of finance and finance hacks to help people really take their business to the next levels. If you're looking for help with due diligence, we've got Liz Brimmer-Smith coming on from NoteInvestingClub.com. She really kind of talks about how she's breaks down due diligence and then also has an amazing service of VAs that can help you expand your business as well. We've got my buddy, Val Satir from Watermark Exchange or Watermark Capital Partners out of New York, a New York trader that I have known for quite a few years and made a lot of trades with, and just a great brother from another mother. Val always has a great time, always gets highly ranked because it's just a kind of a no-nonsense discussion we have about trading and going from there. We mentioned Wayne Snell earlier. If you've listening to the podcast, you've heard Wayne on a couple episodes ago. Wayne will talk about how he'll actually be on the investor panel talking about how he's closed on 300 deals in the last 3 years. Mahir Allen, I call him Matt from MJS Think Tank. Matt will be sharing and talking about second lien investing and how he does a great job with helping investors take down portfolios of second lien investors and how he's done a great job. We've also got Chase Thompson, who's going to do Chase always does a great job, but Chase has been one of the big advocates of Note Camp and really helped get this thing rocking and rolling to where it is today. And Chase will be talking about marketing and going from there. We mentioned Kevin Cordell already. We'll have Dave Putz on from JKB Holdings as well. Dave will be sharing his love of firsts and then some of the things that he does with his meetup group in New Jersey as well. We've got my buddy Randy Ruddenhouse, who's a very successful investor out of South Carolina. Great job of doing deals on a regular basis and making things happen. So he's got some great nuggets. I'm really excited to have for the first time this time around, Mr. Bill Tan from the LA, San Diego area. I've known Bill for years. Bill is a solid speaker and educator and has a great love of paper. And so I'm excited to have Bill on this time around for the first time. We've also got Tom Bourne, who's with Aspen Funds, going to be speaking on second investments and how they're buying bulk portfolios of notes and doing a great job on the second lien side of things. We'll have Tim Herridge from 2020 REIA from the Dallas-Fort Worth Groups sharing a lot of his insights about the real estate market and what he sees. For those that don't know, Tim is one of the first people to actually securitize a portfolio of rental portfolios and sell it to Wall Street. So excited to have Tim on. I've known him and I go back quite a few years. We'll have Cynthia Faulkner from Self-Directed IRA TV coming on, talking about how they're able to help a lot of investors, especially self-directed IRA investors, learn the best places to put their money. Our keynote this time around, I'm excited to have the one, the only Scott Duffy. Scott is a buddy of mine and has done a tremendous job as an entrepreneur, not only being featured in entrepreneur.com or Inc.com magazine, but working with the likes of Richard Branson, Fox Sports, and some other things in helping entrepreneurs really launch themselves into the stratosphere when it comes to success in their business. He's got a book called Launch, and Scott will be one of the keynote speakers talking about what it really takes to kind of take your business to the next level. And of course, you're stuck with me as one of the speakers as well. And I know I'm missing a couple people on here. We'll make sure and get those added about. But we've got an all-star lineup of amazing speakers who are actually doing the business. That I think is that one of the big pillars of what we do is our speakers have to be doing the business. It's not about, I'm just teaching, I'm not doing it. No, you've got to be doing the business. That's the most important aspect of what we do is you can't teach if you're not doing it to everybody. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just really blowing smoke. And we don't want that. We don't want a pitch fest. We don't want people just blowing smoke or selling crap. We want content, actions, marketing, and profit-generating nuggets that you can really take with you and go from there. So, like I said, the next one is the 4.0 version is slated for October 12th through the 15th. All times will be Central Standard Time. You can find more information out to look at the website at notecamp.live. And we've got some great stuff. If you'd like to learn, like I said, you can go there. Go to notecamp.live, register for the event. If you use the special code podcast, all caps, podcast, we'll make sure to get you $50 off of your ticket price for you. So just really honored. We've got some great stuff lined up for you. Bonuses. One of the great things that we do a little bit different, Nicole here in the office puts together an amazing virtual manual. And literally, where every speaker's got a one-page kind of bio, what they're focused on. You get to speaking. Literally, it's a amazing PDF electronic thing. When you download this, if you click on a lot of the speaker links, it'll take you directly to which room they're speaking, the speaker schedule, any other perks if they've got a blog or anything else they've got written in there is all involved in this aspect of it. So we're excited about that. But literally very interactive. Now, one thing that we started last time that we'll do this time is we'll kind of have some recommended tracks. And what do I mean by tracks? Well, if you're looking to raise capital, if you go to the schedule here and you see a bag of money, I'll give you an example, how to raise capital for NPLs. There's a little bag of money. You're probably going to want to click on that link and make sure you're watching whoever the speaker is for that. If you're wanting to see, I'll give you an example. Aaron Young, if you're wanting systems, the Rockefeller strategy has got a little dial there, gear there that you want to click on that so you keep track of it. So we like to focus on kind of money, systems, deal flow, marketing, the market itself, and then also keynotes. So we have a nice little key for you to be able to kind of track the speaker aspect of that. So just we try to camp out with us, have a good time. Now, one thing we always like to do as well, we love it when people share our stuff on social media too. So we always have a daily social media contest for those that are creative, whether they're taking screenshots of their computer and where they're watching it, or they're taking a picture of them with their feet up on the couch or in the sand while they've got the Note Camp, blaring in their ears on their iPod or whatever it is. We love rewarding social media people that share it on the social media aspect, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. We've had some pretty creative people do some pretty creative stuff. And so I will usually give away either a ticket to our fast track trainer or mastermind, depending on what's going on. We usually give one or maybe potentially two of those away each time we have one, just based on the amount of content that people share out there. And some of the previous winners who won that, Michelle Apt, Ruben Karinke off of Tampa. Then you also have Gail Greenberg out of the Philadelphia area, who have won the social media contest at Note Camp. I mean, that's a $15,000 ticket item for you to win and be a part of the Note Mastermind as well. So just lots of great stuff. We always like to talk about deals. Everybody's looking for deals. So we always have sources that are bringing deals to the table. Usually a couple days after Note Camp, we'll do a draft where we've brought a list of assets on and allow people a couple days to review it, dive into some due diligence, and start making some offers. So just really, really excited. We're literally right about a month out with it being the, what is today? Today's the 8th of September. We kick off on the 12th of October. So we're roughly 31 days out from the event. So we're already over a couple hundred people that are signed up for the event. So that's the exciting thing about that. We see a lot of signups in the last 2 weeks. So I wouldn't expect us to be somewhere near that 700 mark, if not past it by the time it rolls around, because we've got a lot of marketing that are kicking into place. So if you're listening out there on any of the podcast manuals or iTunes, love to have you. Like I said, go to notecamp.live and use the special code podcast in caps and get your $50 coupon off the ticket price for that. So like I said, you don't have to be in person. You don't have to jump on a plane. You can, if you can't make it all 4 days, no problem. The replays are usually available the following Thursday or Friday for you to listen to at your own pleasure, whether you want to download those or save them so you can get to them at your convenience, whether you're out driving, flying, traveling for another thing. You don't have to take time away from your family to have fun and enjoy it at Note Camp. So just really excited. Could not do this without our amazing staff of people. First, I give a big shout out to Greg and Jennifer and Nicole in the office here, they do a really great job of helping organize everything with the marketing, the images, and tracking of those that are coming and going from base camp. I have to give a big shout out to Stephanie Goodman, our VP of Operations. She was the co-host last time in room number 2 and did a really good job keeping the speakers on time there. So you'll be able to see her much more attractive smiling face if you're only watching room 2 and any other speakers that are going through there. So she does a great job with that. Could not do that without a staff of people that are doing some things behind the scenes to make sure everybody's happy. So once again, let me see if there's any questions here on screen. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it. Donovan, look forward to having you, buddy. It is great. There's a lot of people who have attended Note Camp and gotten a tremendous amount of it. There's the point where, like, why do I need to travel to others when I get everything I need from the comfort of my own home or my own phone? So once again, everybody, I think it's probably a good spot for this episode. Go out and do something, make something happen. That's the only way you're going to get ahead. Education is only good if you're going to implement it. Look, if you're not an implementer, do not sign up for anything. All you'll be doing is donating your money to somebody else, okay? But if you're a go-getter, you're somebody that's going to take action and apply the things that you learn and really launch yourself forward into the Note game, the paper game, the Note Camp might just be the event that helps you out there with that. Because I know Adam, let's see, if I look at this thing, Adam, Kimberly, even Joel J., Chase, Wayne, Randy, a lot of people have closed a lot of deals and raised a lot of capital from attending. You know, Val has sold assets from these people. Liz Broomer-Smith has closed deals and joint venture with the people that she met through Note Camp. And so there's a lot of opportunity to really take your business to the next level. And I think our event really focuses on it. I guarantee you're not going to find another expo that's going to give all the attendees the RSVP list. It's just not going to happen. They don't want to give that information out because it's valuable. And we believe it's valuable too, but we want to incentivize you to really, hey, there's no holds barred. The only way you're going to fail is if you don't take action and make things happen around. So I want to thank everybody that is watching live and sharing some great comments. We appreciate that. As always, if you've enjoyed this episode and want to learn more about what we do, you can always text the word NOTES, N-O-T-E-S, to the phone number 72000-72000. And then you can also always find us more information on Notes going to WeCloseNotes.com. So appreciate all the love out there from people. Hopefully you're having a great day and go make something happen. And we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.